Let's take a look at this run at full speed, then we'll break down the entire run looking at his timing and position.
He missed me, but that went by really fast because I'm in the way. He just come right around me and jumped. So, well, you good. Okay. I knew that section. I didn't know what to do there. I just didn't know what to do there with him. You know, there's a point where you don't know. Right. You don't know what dog you have and what skill you have.
We're going to take a look at the standard run of a Master Challenge biathlon. So this is one of two runs that comprise the biathlon at USDAA competition here in the United States. This is done at 26 inches. This is the Golden Retriever Gitchy. And we've set up to go tire, jump, and then immediately move into our deceleration. So you can see the shortening of the stride, the leaning back of the body, even as the dog is landing. So this should be a pretty clear cue for her to take this jump, but to add an additional stride and make this a tight turn. As the dog takes off, we can go ahead and front cross, and that's going to help the dog know where to go next. Now, one of the things that you need to do on this front cross here is step out of the dog's way, meaning move your body this way so the dog has vision of this first weave pole. Because if the dog can't see that first weave pole, then all they see is this red jump. So what you'll do is send your dog off course over this red jump after this front cross. So even though a lot of people like to bring their dog all the way around their side and into the first weave pole, if there's an obstacle out here, you're not always able to swing them out wide. So this was very challenging for a lot of dogs here. So I actually even hang back and let the dog go find the weave entry on her own. So once she's into the entry, I go ahead and leave. She's been proof so that I could probably leave even before she found the entry, but it's just an easy thing to do at the trial, to wait there for a second. Coming up next, we have a turn out of the chute, and this is actually a very, very tricky part of the course that I thought handlers didn't do a very good job of recognizing. Most people are just going to send their dog in the chute and run a big semicircle over here. And what that does is, especially with the long chute that you get in USDA competition, the chute is much longer than an AKC, which has the shorter chute. Dogs are going to come very wide, almost to the wall of the arena. And what I've done here is, as she's going in, I'm at a stop. And this is going to signal her to turn, and not even just turn, but to come out looking left. And so I got a better turn here than most people. So a lot of people got turns that were so wide that they actually went around this jump that this judge here is blocking. But I was able to get a good enough turn where it actually put her on the correct line for this blue jump. Other people were able to save their runs and bring their dog back this way by calling them or using a threat alarm. So now, let's just back up through here again. So the dog comes out. And now as she takes off here, I turn toward her and give her the threat alarm. So this is going to pull her in the gap. And again, this is a long throttle, meaning there's a lot of space between these two obstacles. And one thing that we needed to do was maintain our motion while we do the throttle. And then I immediately move in for a rear cross. Now this is another potential problem area. We had a lot of dogs that glanced at this off-course jump over here just for a second. And so the handler wasn't able to bring them back for this jump. So after you throttle them into this gap and bring them out, you need to pull them back toward this jump, usually calling the dog's name or telling them to come, somehow orienting them on that jump. Here I've opted for the rear cross, I think I could have done a rear cross a little bit better here, gotten a little bit better turn to set up for the next line. Let me zoom out. Here we're onto the A-frame, and I just keep the dog on the left, and the challenge here was to do a 270 but on a wingless jump. Now I will note that in international competition I believe all the jumps are winged, and typically in the US you're going to see 270s. When you have to take backsides of jumps, they will be over winged jumps. So one thing we don't do very much of in training is to take wingless jumps and have the dogs jump the backside of that. So this is something that I was concerned about. I went in a little deeper with her than I normally would to make it very clear. But a lot of dogs really struggled with this, came in and took the jump the wrong way rather than taking it as a 270. So you can see here that she does a very nice job. But what we're doing here is attacking this wing, taking the dog's view of the wrong way, taking that view away so they go the correct way. And here I opt for a rear cross again. One thing about the 270, it's very hard sometimes to do a 270 unless you do it from distance or earlier, to then do a front cross and pick the dog up on your right. So I just stay out of my dog's way to keep them on the left, and then rear cross the next part. You get to the teeter, a quick release to the jump, and now here was another part where people struggled. The dog needs to come here, take this jump on a 180, and come into this tunnel entrance. A lot of dogs went to the wrong end of the tunnel. A lot of dogs came in and took the jump the wrong way, and a lot of dogs bypassed the jump because there's a whole bunch of mistakes that a handler can make here. So the first thing you need to do is create the proper turn to the jump. So you got to handle these obstacles one at a time, and that'll really help you through this. So I move and rotate, and by turning myself to the right, I put her on the line for this jump. Now once she's on the line for the jump, and I know she is going to take that jump that way, you have to get set up for the next part. So in this case, as part of that, I used a serpentine cue, both arm and body, to try and drag her through. So you can see that she goes wide here. Now whether she's headed for the tunnel or the dog walk, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what she's seeing really. But I do know that I'm not in the position I want to be in. As she's landing, I would prefer to be standing over here. So if I could do this run over again, I would probably do it a different way. Maybe front crossing in between here so that I could send her over this silver jump on the right. But this is how I handled it. Got a wide turn here. Facing her, brings her in and gets her over that jump. And then I open up and switch arms. So a lot of dogs don't respond very well to the arm switching, and they'll cut behind the handler and into the tunnel. So that's just something that needs work. Now as she goes into the tunnel, I'm very slow to get to the next spot. And you can see that I'm out of position as she exits. So the dog's head is out. I am clearly indicating the jump, but that's not the problem. The problem is I need to get the dog to the dog walk, and I am nowhere near correctly indicating the dog walk. So I've opted for a front cross here, and as the dog is in the air, this is what the dog sees. So at this point, the dog needs to know that she is getting on the dog walk, because this will let her turn about 30-40 degrees over this jump and line herself up for a good approach for the dog walk. But you can see that I do not indicate the dog walk at all. In fact, I am standing directly in the line between her and the dog walk. I'm literally blocking the dog's path to the dog walk. So this is going to be a problem. So the dog is going to land in extension in a way where honestly she should probably have run by, but because she sees the front cross and responds to that cross, she comes around my body, sees the dog walk, and lines herself up for that dog walk. So you're come around, get on the dog walk, and then finish out the run. Very nicely done on the dog's part.
Video analysis has changed the way we improve as handlers. Not only do we analyze our own runs, we also do the same level of analysis watching notable competitors from around the world. We learn a lot from watching other competitors, and that's why we've made competition analysis part of the monthly features for the VIP program, both analysis of actual runs and of course maps. The VIP program will open for registration in just a few days, so make sure you watch our final video in the series to learn all about the program, which will include articles, courses, exercises, customized statistics, and discounts from some of your favorite agility vendors. Happy training!